When I stay here, I risk everything. I leave everything behind.
Или потому что я сильная.
Раз, два, три, чотири.
Маша!
Ми тут, Маша!
Маша!
Хто ми?
Загалом, якщо ми будемо розглядати, що відбувається в мозку людини, коли вона закохана,
Привіт.
Привіт, Маша.
Бачу,
Так,
не бачу.
далі не бачу. Саша. Лайк.
Будуть в тебе свої діти, тоді зрозумієш.
Я взагалі не знаю, що гірше, коли тобі ніхто не подобається чи подобається, але без відповіді. Ну, друге точно гірше. Ми реально зараз це зробимо на рахунок 3. Раз, два. Стоп-Земля!
Hello, everyone. Sahabatnya. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me at Europe On Screen 2021 Film Talk. Oops, you can see my cat. My cat needs to go first. Bye, Billy. Hi, so welcome to Europe On Screen 2021 Film Talk. And today we will have a chat with Miss Kateryna Gornostai. There she is. Hi, Kateryna.
Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Kateryna Gornostai is the film director of the film Stop-Zemlia, a Ukrainian film that has won Crystal Bear at the Generation 14 Plus Berlinale 2021. Congratulations for winning the Crystal Bear, Kateryna.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, now before we begin, Kateryna, please allow me to just explain a little bit about the rule of the webinar. It will just going to take a very short one though. So yes, before we start, please kindly keep in mind that the webinar session right now is being recorded and also broadcasted live on our YouTube account at the moment. All participants are muted in order to enable the speakers to speak without interruptions. We also activate the Q&A box where you can type your questions that will be answered during the Q&A part of the webinar. If you wish to ask Kateryna in an Indonesian language, please do so, and I will help you to translate them in English. And please kindly keep in mind that the session all will be conducted in English. So, yeah, how's thing in Ukraine, Kateryna, at this moment? Are the cinema already open?
Yeah, we have it opened actually quite a while ago. So yeah, now yeah, but we're really nervous about the next wave, and yeah, I'm really afraid it would be happening in this late autumn, and so yeah, there's a lot of things we really want to plan, you know, towards like cinema, but we can't because of this COVID things and all of the things. So yeah.
So, so the film itself, it's not yet seeing the cinema release, or has it been released in Ukraine?
We had a Ukrainian premiere at Odessa International Film Festival, and now we'll be having a premiere in Kiev on the Film Critics Week. We have it, such a small festival, but really nice one. So yeah, and after that we planned to have the theatrical release of the film in the early November. But yeah, now we're going to that date and everything seems to be okay, but you never know because our government have these rules about lockdown 3 weeks or 2 weeks before the lockdown, and nobody knows how to plan anything. So this is kind of a tough thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's pretty much the same here in Indonesia. We are also in the semi-lockdown, and the cinema just started to open last weekend. So,
and
yeah.
the whole year before you didn't have cinemas. The whole,
yeah, we didn't have the cinema last year, and then they opened in October, but then they closed again in April, so or May. So yeah, it was quite hard as well for our film industry.
yeah, I can imagine. Yes.
Yes. And talking about Stop-Zemlia, what was the first inspired, or what makes you actually want to create the movie at the beginning?
I don't know, but I know, but I don't know how to answer it, you know, because there's really a lot of different answers to this question. The first is that on some level, doing short films, I realized that I really want to do something bigger. And that's because one of my short films was half an hour long. And, you know, in that length, I felt that it's like, I feel uneasy. I want to release the time of the film. So I want to like tell the story that would be going more freely in this form of full-length film. And yeah, and when you're a first-time director, it's always this temptation to finally have this moment, have this kind of a plan to do the first feature. So yeah, that was like the path to the story. And the story itself of Stop-Zemlia was written on a piece of A4 paper, so one piece paper. It was really small, and it should be should be like a short film, really ordinary one about the girl that is going to school, and then after that she's going to the music school, and then after that she's going to this discotheque at school, and then propose to the guy that she's really fond of, and he's her classmate, and he's going to the same music school as hers. So yeah, and she's proposing him to dance, they dancing, and nothing really happened. So this was really brief scenario of a short film. Yeah, and then why it appeared, because it was like written, all it was written from my experience, like from my 16 years. And I remember this moment of me proposing to dance to the guy that I really liked for 5 or more years in school. And it was really strange moment, because actually in terms of events and dramaturgy, nothing really interesting had happened. But in terms of my feeling myself, it was huge, because, you know, on one hand, you realize that you're capable of doing anything. So you can even be brave and come to the guy that you're like. But another thing that you feel that this is the last time when you feel this closeness to this person, because you feel that it's unrequited. So you wouldn't have any answer to that, to your proposal in a big, I mean, So, and this is bittersweet moment when you understand that you're brave and you have this kind of guts to do something, but it not always depends just on you. At this moment it was like that, and I was really stressed about it. I remember myself going home after this night of discotheque, and I was all trembling, and I had a fever. So it was, a moment when I grew up. I felt like I grew up as a person. I don't know how to explain it, but I really remember it. So yeah, and that's why this idea of this short film appeared. And then I started to look for some other details from my school life, and just to remember them, and realize that this is really interesting ground to tell a full-length story on that thing, to have a culmination in this discotheque, but to unpack the story, like to unpack the whole world of this school and of these kids. That are like living of their parents, of their friendships. And while I was developing the script, a lot of different people of that age came to casting, and we really wanted it. I didn't want it from the beginning. I didn't want this story to be like from my school years, I really wanted it to be modern. So we started to started to pack it with different details of modern life, like smartphones that we didn't have while we were students. So yeah, that was the whole long process. But initial idea was about this point in life. I may say that was for me. I had some of these points, and I think this was one of the first when you. When you feel this bittersweet feeling of everything
Yeah, I think you portrayed very well. I mean, we can all feel the giddiness when Masha, probably on the disco scene, when she was like, whether should I ask Sasha to dance or not? This is something that the giddiness that's still there. I think everyone can feel that too. And when you're saying earlier also that there was also part of your personal experiences in this film. So I was just wondering, who are you in this character? Were you Yana, Masha, or Senia? I mean, I would link myself as a Yana more, or Senia.
It was a strange thing because we, as a preparation, we have this acting laboratory with them. So for 2 months we were studying. It's not studying. We were doing stuff together. Actually, it was more. It's like creative laboratory with different acting practices. I don't know, movement, voice, and all kind of things. And while we were doing it, it was they were already casted. So it was 25 people that would be. Completing our class in a film. So but we had this kind of a thing with them. I didn't talk about script, and they didn't know anything about the script while we were preparing it, and it was our rule. We were doing all other things, but not something that connected with the script. We knew that we wanted to see there at the laboratory because we knew the script, but kids did not. But it was interesting thing that after the laboratory, when we started to give the roles, actual roles from the script, when everybody finally read it, and we had this tete-a-tete meetings with each actor with consideration the role and to talk about the character and everything. And it was for me really strange thing because when people came, they didn't know what the roles. Because it was I sent the script and the next day we were all meeting, but in person. And guys and girls didn't know that who gonna be, for example, the lead but they had a clue. And it was really so interesting because sometimes I heard something like, "Oh yeah, I really like my role. Yeah, that's cool. That's really suits me." But you know, I think that the main role that you like from your script, it's Masha, because her name is Masha as well.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, that's Masha. Oh, I thought it would be like that. Everybody said it, and it was like, what? And it was really interesting because sometimes I asked, why did you think that it would be Masha? Because I tried not to pick anybody from the group. You know, I tried to
Yeah.
be as not cold, but as distant as possible to everybody, because I really didn't want for them to be conquering, you know, for the roles in this preparation period to be like. So yeah, I tried to be distant to anybody. Yeah, and but the answer was, we all know that it would be Masha because you're so alike, and she's really like you, and you're like her, and you have something similar. So yeah, that's not really. This is your script, so we believe that it would be Masha as the main character. So yeah, I think the Masha is she had some similarities to me in 16 years old, and we have something in common in perception of the world, in the level of how to say it in English, like the
Confidence.
yeah, I think, and confidence, and this kind of a thing that you're sometimes feeling pain.
Yes. The agony of being teenager.
Yeah, but it's not even about being teenager. It's about being perceptive. I think it's about being perceptive to anything that happens around you. I think it's like that. Some people are more like tough with that. They're okay. They're having some kind of but yeah, Masha had this huge amount of empathy that is really like messing with her sometimes.
Yes, I understand also that from your explanation before, you're mentioning that they put in the acting lab session all of them. So were they audition first to before they get into this acting lab, or because the way I see it, I understand that you have a background in the documentary filmmaking, and even in the Stop-Zemlia, you also have this kind of scene where it seems like we are actually watching them as part of like a semi-documentary. So was that also part of the acting lab, or was that also another part from the film itself, from the script itself?
You mean the scenes, like interview scenes from the film?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a part of the film, actually. It was not scripted, but we really wanted it to feel as a documentary, but actually it was shot during the shooting period as it, yeah, like fully fictionally shot, yeah, like with a big camera and
Yeah.
setting and light and everything. But in terms of this like talk, so yeah, we hadn't any prepared notes, and I had it for me for questions, but we just talked with them prior to this shooting day of this interviews. We talked and we decided that I would be talking to you as a person, but through your character. It was like the plan. And we didn't have any double, so it wasn't like, oh, this is what would be cool word, but can you repeat it? Like, no, we didn't do that. So it was shot from the beginning to the end of the talking, and we just switched the cards in the camera to have like, because it's only 20 minutes actually. So we had it like the conversation. For me, it was really, I really wanted to shot a conversation to these people, like real people, through the characters they already knew really good, because they knew all the film, knew all the script, and knew what happened during all this journey while we were shooting it. But the inspiration for this kind of scenes came from the casting, because one of the stages of the casting was the same interviews. Like we had it for more than 22 to 200 people went to us, and we had interviewed them. And on these interviews, I realized that it's really interesting just to talk to these kids. So after these interviews, we shortened our group of this 200 to maybe 65 people, and then divided in 3 groups and had like the first, the final stage of the casting. It was like the, action casting. So we had this kind of a small teaser of our acting laboratory, and then after that we picked these 25 people that were going to this acting lab. So yeah, we had great period of casting with a lot of applications, and even with a lot of documentary research, because some guys and girls, we were looking for them in schools. So Masha was one of the actually, she didn't came to us by herself. We found her. And yeah, this is one of my best, like the biggest pride of this film, that we actually found our main protagonist just on the lesson of mathematics of one of the schools. So I think she wouldn't apply for that application, because she had that's such character that
a timid character, but she's playing it very beautifully. I mean, it's very believable, and I was just like, wow. And the chemistry that she has with her friends, the trio, with Senia and Yana, that's something that you cannot. Was it also coming from your experience that you have such close friends like that?
Yeah. Actually, in the first draft of scripts, it was 3 girls, because I had a girly band, I may say, when I was at school.
A girl band.
Yeah, no, not a girl band, but I think, I mean, not a band. We didn't do any music, but I mean band in terms of
sisterhood.
Yeah. So yeah, we had this trio as well. We had a bigger group of 5 girls, and then when I started to develop the script, I first I write it like that. But then when I met actually this generation, I realized that they are somehow not like us, because for us it was more the relationship between genders, between male and female, were more sexualized in our time. And that's why we had this company, a group of just girls, and there was a group of just boys, for example. And this we had this tension between us, like it was always like charged with this sexuality issues, I don't know. But they are not like that. They know how to be friends between genders, and this is really interesting, because they I don't know, they have this kind of attention of sexuality is less for them.
Yes.
They sometimes I see that they can be truly good friends between genders and between companies. So I decided it would be really interesting to have a mixed gendered group, or to be for Senia to be there, because it would be having like another relationship inside of the group. So yeah, it's on the second draft of script, it was for me more interesting to make it like that. So I rewrite it. Yeah. And but the actually before this acting laboratory, they didn't know each other. So this trio and the whole group wasn't like they met. All of them met for the first time. Maybe somebody knew someone, but it was like the small connections in the group. But the whole group didn't know each other. So this was like our aim to have this acting laboratory for that, to have this kind of a chemistry to appear there. So yeah, that was we really wanted to for them to know each other before shoot.
Yeah, and this is what I like in Stop-Zemlia, actually, that the role of gender, it's pretty liquid, as in that these kids, they just be friends with honest and with truth. They don't care whether you're men or women. And then especially the scene, I love this scene, the spin the bottle, with the spin the bottle, like we're playing and we stick to the rules, and the one that got the bottle, that have to kiss each other. And this is very beautiful, the way I see it, without any prejudice. And then and even Senia himself, he was already admitting to Masha. That's the scene in the kitchen that was very beautiful. So I was just it was a good film and introduction. This is something that also rare to see in Indonesia, that the gender could be so liquid like that. And what was for you like the hardest challenge while you're making the film?
I think the hardest challenge was, like to be okay with my own anxiety like levels, because that's this film taught me a lot actually while we were doing it, because I think that maybe we were trying to apply to finance, like for financiation for the film for 3 years, like in a whole, and
Yeah.
when we finally got it 2 years ago from our state film fund, I was really I had the thought that, oh, thank God I didn't get finance like before when we like wanted to apply like first time, for example, because I think that the time that we developed the story really helped the film to be on the right track and helped me to feel myself better, because I think that I was afraid of people a lot more like 3 years ago than I am now. But anyway, this is for me as an introverted person and a person with great anxiety levels, this is the huge process with the great stress. And and this is anyway, the process was really interesting in terms of that we had just a wonderful crew, and everything that was done for the film and during the shooting period, it was all done with love and care and respect. It was sometimes people came to the set, my friends or colleagues, it was rare thing, but sometimes they were there and said something like, I didn't even know that, I didn't even like see such a process on my own eyes, like when everything is without tension and really like caring and with love. So it was the atmosphere was just, I don't know, it was wonderful. But anyway, I had really a lot of anxieties because the responsibility that was light on my shoulders.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, this was no, this was tough enough, and I had even like between the different blocks, I had really terrible flu. Like I was ill for
I'm
3
so
days.
sorry.
Yeah, but it was, I think that now it was like the stress that was seeking the way
Accumulate.
out. Yeah, because
Ah,
I think it was like that. I was really so stressed out that I need some kind of a breakdown of, and organism did it in the way it could, And it
yeah.
was really funny because it was at the time when everything started in China, and we were really like joking that maybe it's COVID. I don't know. It was really not really good thing to be ill, but yeah, it was a tough winter.
Okay, now we will ask some questions from the audience. Bambang Junaidi was asking, hi Kateryna, this is the first time. Wait, sorry. This is the first time I see teenagers live in Kiev from your film. Would you say your film capture the common lives and the overall mood of today's teenagers in Ukraine?
No, this is kind of it's a great responsibility to talk to like about all teenagers of Ukraine, because I don't know all of them. Actually, I know this 25 more or less, because we are now friends more than 2 years with them. But I don't know. I think that I believe in this generation, and I believe that they are the agents of some changes that would be coming to the world. And I think that this is the trend, not only in Ukraine, but all over the world. So their generation is really global because they have internet access and they know everything that is going on in the world right now. So maybe in terms of information, at my age, I think we could see the difference between, for example, a kid that is living in a big city and a kid that is living, for example, in a countryside somewhere in a small village. So this difference, it was there, but now it is not, because they all have internet connection, and these kids have equal information actually in their pockets. So that's why they I don't know, they all really modern, and they have some issues with their own generation. I mean, kind of this. But it's not in the film, but actually they do it, you know, like this kind of a thing that they, for example, my generation, we had this kind of authorities. So there were some people that we look up to them, but they don't have it, and it's really interesting. So this kind of a thing that when you're like having some kind of a person that you look up to, it's not the case anymore, I think. Mostly, if it, yeah, I don't want to generalize it, but you know, this kind of a trend like that, and they are really vulnerable, and they're really feeling a lot. So yeah, but and they really conscious in terms of ecology and all these problems that we're facing now. And yeah, so I believe that this generation would finally do something. We try to help them as much as we could, but yeah, I really believe in them, and yeah, I think they're really interesting.
That's true. I agree with you. And now the second question comes from Jacqueline Numismatica. Hi, Kateryna. I'm fascinated with the fluorescent bisexual lighting concept of Stop-Zemlia. Is there any special reason on why had you choose to use the neon lighting? Also, I cannot wait to hear the music scoring in Spotify. I agree with Jacqueline. The music are impressive. Congratulations, Kateryna.
Oh, we're just in the process of doing this Spotify, Apple Music,
Oh,
and all kind of
cool.
like platforms to actually have our soundtrack here, because yeah,
Yeah.
this is another pride of mine, the music in the film, because I really wanted it to be just Ukrainian, and I really wanted to, you know, sometimes the journalists ask the question that, yeah, you have such a realism in your film, but you know, in terms of this music at the discotheque, teenagers don't listen to Ukrainian music, and such a good music, they don't listen it. They listen to like Russian rap, for example, Russian hip hop. Yeah, and this is true actually. But my aim was, I'm not fond of Russian hip hop mostly, and I listen to it because I need to know, but I'm not the fan. And when we tried to look for music in a film, we really wanted it to be the music that we liked. We, the creators of the film. It was like like an egoistic decision in a way. But I believe that maybe teenagers that would be watching this film would be liking this music too. So maybe that would be the way for them to introduce underground Ukrainian music scene to the people from our own country, because we had it really interesting underground scene. So yeah, that was our like a big aim, for example. So for people to listen to Ukrainian music after the after the film. And the lightning, yeah, we had really interesting concept. It's not, it's really, I would be thinking about this kind of a bisexual lighting concept. It's really interesting.
Yeah, me too. This is the first time I've heard it.
Yeah, it's the first time I heard it as well. So it's really interesting that we so this is like, it was done accidentally actually, but this is really cool. I really like these films that like this kind of a things that when it happened like that. But yeah, but we had with our set designer Maxim Nemenko, we had this really interesting concept of doing different interior like environments for our main characters, different, and to how to say it, so the school is really neutral environment, and we tried to make it like that. It's all kind of like white and green with a lot of plants, but it's kind of a neutral environment where everybody came there, and the kids that are coming to this environment, they color this kind of a mind with their own colors. And these colors that they are going with them, they are going from their own environments, from their own like rooms and apartments. So we really try to match, you know, this kind of a thing that Masha is with this colorful inner world of hers in this room. For example, Sasha is having this kind of a not so cozy and this greenish colored old Soviet apartment, and he's wearing this kind of a greenish colors. So yeah, we tried to like to imagine and to create this worlds of every character, and to be for them to be different, and for them to be like represented by the character. I don't know. So yeah, that was the part I really liked on the preparation process, when we together with our DOP and set designer think this all things and created them actually. So thought about the
Yes.
colors and the lights, and yeah, that was.
And other details too. I mean, you have a very good set designer and art prop actually, like all the details. For example, like this chewing gum that was stick
Yeah.
on the chair. Wow, that's and somehow I mean, the film also expressing the anxiety problem, the mental health problem that they were also facing. Like, and you can see it also in the changing in the chair. Like I see, like in the chewing gum, for example, there was like written help. So that was really interesting details that you put here and there, and I really appreciate you on having the eyes to notice them, and especially your art prop and set designer team. You have a very good team in making the film. And oh, there's another question too, but this is actually for from our team. So our host Panji, he was asking, who is Senia actually in love with? Is it Masha?
Yeah, actually, yes. This is this is the question I can say I can answer. Yes. So yeah,
Okay.
Masha is the person that he's really liked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, it can shows the way from the way he talked to her and everything. And yeah, Jacqueline was also asking another thing, that how is the reception, the film reception from the teenagers in your country?
We will see. Actually, yeah, we will see, because the release is coming. So I'm really looking forward to this dialogue with them, and to see how they would perceive it, because for me it's really interesting. I think we had like we really like a young film industry. Ukraine is really young film industry, and we just beginning to make some kind of sometimes, you know, that this kind of topic of teenagers it was just the topic of it started maybe 3 years ago with a couple of TV series that we had on screen, like on TV. But yeah, you know, they were not so really good in quality, and but they were in Ukrainian language. Finally, it was the first time where somebody tried and started to do that. And so yeah, I saw that it wasn't like it wasn't one of the reasons why I did the film of teenager, because it's mostly the reason why I did it, this film about teenagers. Maybe it's because I don't know, it's kind of a stereotypical thing of a first-time director when you're like doing your first film, and what you're gonna do? You're gonna do the film about your teenage years, yeah, because yeah, I don't know, it's kind of a stereotypical, but yeah, I agree with this stereotype that you should begin with something you have a good distance to, but you remember it really well. So yeah, that's why I think. But yeah, we have a lot of in Ukraine. We have a lot of interest to this topic, and I really hope that with this touch of reality that we had in the film, with a really living language that is I really like in the film, that modern kids would be from Ukraine, modern teenagers would be at least they would be interested in our film. I don't know if they would like it, because the reality that is depicted in the film, it's not as a reality in real life, actually, because we have a lot of problems with schools, with teachers, with this kind of post-Soviet paradigms that are still living in these institutions of school, for example, and we had bullying as one of the topics of school, but yeah, the problems. But I really wanted to be like a school from nearest future, I may say like that. So that's why it's so, and I really want to emphasize this crucial thing, that when you're a teenager, and even if you have everything is okay and if everything is on its right places, you have a good school, great parents, brilliant friends, you still feel yourself not in the not in a good way. You're feeling not okay, and this is the reason to feel yourself like that lies from your inner from your inner world, not because this problem from some bullying or bad communication with your parents. No, it could be sometimes the problem of just of yourself, just of this age, and of dealing with your own I don't know, body, with your own personality that you're now you're analyzing it for the first time in your life. So this was the crucial thing for me, and that's why we really wanted this school to look like futuristic school a bit, with not with really great teachers from university. They are from university. For example, our teacher of biology, she's a university teacher. So I really wanted this kind of a respect between students and teachers, and another way of dealing with these ordinary things. Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad that you made your first feature film based on the things that dear to your heart. I mean, teenagers is part of our life, and I'm glad that you made it like that. So before we end the session, I was wondering about your next project, actually, Kateryna. Can you share a little bit of your next project?
Oh, I'm now, that was really a tough year in terms of you're finishing the film, but you don't know where it all gonna go, because it was really strange year to finish the film, because we had this kind of a really interesting premiere in Berlin, like 2 times premiere. First time this online premiere, and then this summer edition. I've been to Berlinale before, to real one, I mean in February, and the summer edition was completely other festival. It was really interesting, and I was always laughing that our film attends the most strange Berlinale ever, I think. So yeah, it was a lot of different strange things, and I was really nervous about it. And finally, when we released the film and it went to the big screen, and then it went to the big screen in Ukraine, it was for me one of the maybe most important moment, because it was the first meeting with Ukrainian viewer. So I was the whole year I was waiting for these moments to come, and in my head I thought that, okay, I will see this film on a big screen, I will talk to the audience, and then I would start to do something further. I'm not that kind of a director that writing next script while editing previous one. So yeah, it's not my case, and I need to be dive into it completely. And so it happened 3 weeks ago. Finally, this Ukrainian premiere happened, and I started to think about it, and I have some couple of ideas, but I'm really terrified. Actually, I'm really terrified that in one hand I'm terrified because this is really a responsibility of the second film, and now you know how hard it is, because when you're a first-time director you don't know some things that would be coming to you, right. So you're doing it blindly, mostly. But now right. I know how it's hard to get financed, to make this plan, to have a casting and everything. So yeah, to start the new project you should be more brave, than you were before your first film. And this is one thing. And another thing that I feel really freely, because now this next film, it has now the best moment for that film, this is the best moment for every film, when the person that is writing it and, for example, shooting it, starting to thinking about it, the ideas. And I have such freedom to do anything I want on a paper, when I would be writing it. So this is the great freedom moment, but it's terrifying. So yeah, and ideas, I have 2 of them actually. One of them is really blurred, and it connected with environmental issues and with my background as the biologist, because I have a bachelor degree in biology, and this is one of the sciences.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but this is really blurred in terms of the story, and the other is really more transparent for me, because this is again, my story and really my experience, but I have no great distance to that story now. And I think that I would be trying to begin writing it, but I will be, we'll see how it goes, because this story just ended for me, and it's really too fresh to talk about it, in terms of maybe I'm not understand something because I just lived through them, but I need some time to understand it, how it was.
Yes, and I think that's also one of the one of the word that actually from your film. If you don't try, you'll never know. So you just have to try it out.
Yeah.
So, okay, one more question before we go there. I forgot that I want to ask you. So, what is the meaning of Stop-Zemlia actually? Because I understand that word come out every time they have a play. It feels like in Indonesian language, I think we have a similarity when you play something and you want to out, and you said in Indonesian would be called topan. So, is it something like that, like to just stop the game and then go out, or?
Actually not. It's not like quite that. It's the name of the game mostly. So this is one game that is called Stop-Zemlia, and this is the one of the rule of the game. For example, when you're chasing others, so this is the like the eat game, when one person chases others, but this is on a small playground with this kind of a things that when you can climb up on them. And the eat person that is with blinded eyes or closed eyes, this person is going and like chasing other with blinded eyes and try to catch them. And you should be up above the ground. But when this person is approaching you, for example, you can change the place to. But you can fly actually, so you're doing it by the ground. And when you're running by the ground, if this person that is chasing you would hear that you're running on the ground, it could shout "Stop-Zemlia" and freeze. It's like freeze.
So it's like
freeze the moment. And you open your eyes, and if this other person that you heard is on the ground, so he or she became this person that would be chasing others. So this is kind of a shout in a game to freeze the moment, to stop the earth, actually, stop the world.
Stop the earth. Stop the world.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was aware that it's not a very good thing to call it like that without any translation.
No, that's perfect, actually.
I mean, like we could name it "Stop the World" or "Stop the Earth," but I felt that this name appeared long before the pandemic started, and the pandemic is somehow the "Stop the World" as well. So I was really afraid to have this connotation of pandemic inside of the name, and that's why we decided it not to be so clear, like be Ukrainian. And in Ukrainian, actually, we have this kind of other. So I like this name because it combines not only the game, but the inner state of the characters and this kind of a cosmic aesthetics. So this is kind of a Stop the Earth. It's like about these planets and trajectories of the flowing in cosmos and this cosmos museum. So it feels a bit cosmos to me in this name. So that's why I really wanted to be there.
That's a really good decision to name it as with this instead of the others. So yes, Kateryna, thank you so much for participating and supporting and being the speaker and having this fun chat actually in the morning right now, probably in Kiev. So
yeah, but it's really I think that my morning became more bright than it was because we have a lot of raining now and it's gray. But yeah, you're really sunny there.
Right, thank you so much. But before we ending, I think we have to take a photo. Maybe Panji, as a host, you can actually help us in guiding how to.
Okay, everyone. Hi, I'm the host. I'm gonna count to 3, and then we'll take a photo.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and one more time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Panji. Thank you so much, Kateryna, and good luck for your next project. I know that this is still early to talk about, but I am sure that it will do great, and I hope that you get the finance to do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really hope that it would be like you said.
Yeah. Thank you, and looking forward to see your film in the future.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
this was really interesting to talk to you.
Yes, it's really nice to talk to you too. And if someone wants to ask later, because I think we have another questions, but I would just give it to you because we have already running out of time since we will have another film talk in the next one. So yes, thank you, Kateryna. We'll be in touch, and I hope to see you somewhere, probably in Berlinale next year, if things goes normal again.
Yeah, I really want to attend it. Actually, I like it, this festival as a audience, like audience experience. It's one of the best like big festivals for audience, actually.
Yeah.
So this was, I really like to watch films there.
Yeah, me too. With hearing all the response and the energy and the good vibe of Berlinale, that's something that we miss. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good festival.
Thank you so much, and have a good day. Have a good start of the day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our session today, Europe on Screen 2021 Film Talk with Kateryna Gornostai. Stop-Zemlia is still playing, but I think it's already sold out. Thank you for the support of the Ukrainian embassy for this film to be screened on Europe on Screen 2021, also from our media partner Gadis. And for those, I think we have another questions, but since you guys are late, we have already finished the session, but we will definitely give Kateryna your questions. And please, the team, can you note down the question from Abdul Aziz Muhammad and Kami F. Suryadi, and we will ask her. Unfortunately, we have to close the session as we have already run out, but we have another session starting at 4 p.m. in our Instagram Live talking about gender issues in European films, which basically we have seen also the Stop-Zemlia film. And then at 5 p.m., we have another film talk with my co-director, Noval, and the writer of the movie Arrival from Germany. Please stay tuned. And tomorrow we have another film talk. So we have a lot of film talk with European filmmakers in Europe on Screen 2021. And I hope you guys can keep up with that. And also just register yourself. Do not delay to book the ticket because we have already 19 films that sold out from 54 films. So make sure you have your tickets before it runs out. Thank you. I'm Menina Putri Wismurti, the Festival Co-Director of Europe On Screen 2021. Sign off and see you guys in 10 minutes in our Instagram Live. Ciao.